Here's the question. Can you put the concept in your own words? If you can't, you don't really understand it. Okay? It's not meaningful to you. To make it meaningful is a struggle. It's probably the biggest struggle you have as a student. But it's a struggle you need to do, or you're wasting your study time. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Only one of you probably in this room will understand what I just say, or will be saying. Ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. And I knew she would get that. How many of you know exactly what I'm talking about? Raj, you do? Cool, 2 of you. Ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. Most of you are going, it's all Greek to me. It's actually probably more Latin, but I'm not certain of that. Okay? When I was a biology student, I learned about the ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. And if you try to learn that and you don't understand it, it's going to go in one ear and out the other. Okay? You can't hold on to it. But if I take a moment to break it down, ontogeny means your own development as a being. Okay? You as a human, for example. Recapitulates means goes back through or recaptures, retraces phylogeny, which is the development all the way from single cell to complex mammal. Now, to make sense of that, how did all of you start in utero? A single fertilized cell, right? An ovum that's fertilized, and then it starts dividing and you get all that. But you get a little period, and this is what they first looked at embryos, where we look like a little thing that looks like a tadpole, right? Yeah, tadpole-ish. So we start with a single egg that's fertilized, and then we get this little thing that looks kind of like a tadpole, and they thought these were gill slits, okay? They're not, they're just what becomes the thoracic area. But there's no legs. It looks like a little tail. Oh, we had a tail. Got the idea? Well, then we get our arm buds, and we get them growing, so we now get arms and legs, and gradually we start looking more like a human being. By the way, take an embryo of any mammal. You probably couldn't tell one from the other. Human, pig, doesn't matter. They all look very much alike, don't they? Now, you understand ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. But if an instructor doesn't take the time to tell you that, and you just read it and go, whatever, I'll memorize it, you will forget it about as quickly as you can. Same ones. If you're studying anything conceptual, and you're trying to memorize it, it's like Y, T, R. It doesn't make any sense. It's in one eye, out the other. If it's out loud, one ear, out the other. But if you take the time to discover the meaning in it, suddenly it clicks. And I could probably ask you next week, what were those 13 letters? And most of you tell me. At the end of the quarter, I could ask you. Most of you could tell me. What is the meaning of meaning? If I say something is meaningful or meaningless, what am I really saying? I'm not going to go through a big drill, which is kind of fun of teasing it out of you. But a meaningful piece is a piece that relates to something you already know. And the best little analogy is, it's like a file system that you've already got established. You add a new entry to it. So it's all neatly organized. And it's very easy if you've got a file system to add a new entry. We do it with computers also. The other way, meaningless. It's where something new doesn't fit with something already established. And so it's Greek to you. It's ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. What did you say? If it's something brand new and you can't relate it, you have to create a new entry. So you have to grapple with it. You say, what does that mean? But as I broke it down, I bet you could associate it with something you already understood. You've probably all seen little embryos. You got the idea of an egg, the idea that it kind of recaptures our development from a primitive one cell to a very complex mammal. You get that idea. That's the meaning of meaningfulness.